Is Forza going to get delayed? Well, today they came out with some bad news for Forza fans. They have removed, well, there's not going to be certain modes in the game at launch, which is quite unusual for them to announce. There's going to be no drift mode, and there's going to be no drag mode. Now, drifting is huge at the moment in motorsport, probably bigger than it's ever been. But there's going to be no drifting at launch, so Forza are really struggling to get everything in the game. They also let us know a lot about the AI and a lot about the physics as well. I'm going to go into that in this video. But is Forza in trouble? I don't know. Now, the AI, I never know what to believe when it comes to AI. Obviously, Gran Turismo has the Sophie AI, which is the best AI I've ever raced against in any racing game. It's unbelievable the racing you can have against it. And Forza say they're doing something similar, lots of machine learning involved. That's a trendy buzzword. They also say they're going to ditch the driver-tar system. The driver-tar system, let's be honest, I mean, what on earth was that about? But they say now there's two massive components to the AI in Forza Motorsport. The first thing is the AI is just better at using the controller, basically the turning, the throttle, the brake. It's just better at that. And they also say that it's better at the driving line as well. They say they've used a lot of machine learning to find the ideal driving line. Now, we know from Gran Turismo Sophie, if you've read the research papers, that is what the Sophie AI does. It does use machine learning, find the absolute fastest way around the track. What does that mean? It ends up using the most ridiculous lines possible. It will go all over curbs. It will exploit the track limits to within a millimetre of their life. Is that going to be the same in Forza? We will see. You see on the screen here, these are some replays of Forza AI. Now, the lines actually do look fairly realistic. They want the AI to be the absolute fastest it can be without using any cheating, so any rubber banding or stuff like that. Now, remember, in Forza, you can basically customize your difficulty experience by turning on and off assists. So doing a race against the AI with absolutely no assists might be one of the most difficult things you can do in racing. Look at the fog effects here, by the way, on the left-hand side. How good that is. That is much better than what we're seeing in Forza Motorsport 7 on the right-hand side. By the way, if you only realise now that was Forza Motorsport 7 on the right-hand side, then this might not be the biggest update of a game for you. Now, talking about physics here, this was really, really, really interesting. Now, I've always said that Forza has a very sort of slidey, very sort of get the back end out, burnout style, lack of traction, which makes it very exciting when you're on the power and you're going around corners. Now, what the Forza people said is actually that's due to, in Forza Motorsport 7, the tyres not actually making contact with the ground that many times per second in terms of the simulation running. And they say they've really improved that in Forza Motorsport. That's Forza Motorsport. I might just call it Forza Motorsport 8, I don't know. Now, I'm not sure how to feel about this. I really feel like the identity of Forza Motorsport 7 and Forza's before was that kind of less traction, more fun, less precise, you know, kind of more stuff going on, a lot more smoke, the tyre spinning up, than Gran Turismo being very understeery, very precise, much more of a time trial simulator. So I hope they haven't gone to an extreme here, but they've talked a lot about it. It seems to be, for me, indicative of something that they've really spent a lot of time on. There are going to be, you know, actual race compounds in the game, hard, medium, soft race tyres. They're also going to include drag and drift tyres in the game at launch. Even though drag and drift is not going to be in the game at launch, that cannot be ideal. I don't know what's going in there. Is it going to be like a drift DLC or something? That would be pretty crazy. You can see here on the right-hand side, we've actually got Forza Motorsport, the new Forza Motorsport now. And those lines dropping down, those are points of contact from the tyre on the curb. So previously in Forza Motorsport 7, there was only 1 point of contact. Now there's 8 points of contact. And that should be more realistic. So when you're driving off the edge of the curb, you can imagine if you've got a single point of contact, it's not going to be as realistic as if you've got half the tyre on the curb, half the tyre off. And now the simulation can deal with that. So I'm hoping this isn't going to lose that slidey feel of Forza, for lack of a better word, but it should be a bit more realistic on and off the curbs, particularly also going down stuff like the corkscrew, where there's really big camber. You know, I'm happy they're talking about this kind of stuff because this is real sim stuff, and you know, as a sim racer, I love to see it. So you can see now 8 points of contact on all 4 corners of the car. You know, every car's going to have 4 wheels, I think. That's going to be 32 points of contact on the road. And Gran Turismo 7, by the way, showed us something similar like this in the trailers for GT7, but they never went into detail. I don't know how many points of contact GT7 has with the ground. It might be more, it might be less. They showed us the suspension working on curbs, But Forza, by showing it this much, I think they think their tyre model and the way it's replicating the contact modes or contact patch with the ground might be better. Let me know what you think in the comments, by the way. Do you think Forza, as it stands, has better tyre physics than Gran Turismo? So it's a pretty important question when it comes to Sims. ACC, rFactor 2, iRacing all pride themselves on having really good tyre physics and simulation, because that is the only point of contact the car has with the ground. Super important for a sim. Now, moving in here, this is really weird. Again, I said at the beginning, is Forza going to have some sort of delay? I mean, the fact they're showing this footage in these conditions is really weird. They've shown 1080p footage. It looks to be overexposed, which is very unusual. It doesn't look to be as good as the footage that we saw in the first trailer to my sort of naked eye. Trying to work out what wheel the producer of Forza is driving on. I probably have it, so I should know. Is it a Logitech G29 or a Logitech Pro? We will see. Some weird shifters. You got a shift on the wheel and shift on the base. I don't know what he's driving. I should know. That's terrible of me. Let me know in the comments if you know. But you can see here the footage is just so overexposed and not a high quality. It's almost like they're deliberately trying not to show the true state of the game. Does that mean that the footage we've seen before, that's real, classic trailer footage that's been, it's not actually running in real time? We'll have to see. I do like the segment scores on the right. I do like the way Forza seems to be designed to make you a better driver. See the shadows there going on the windshield? They look kind of basic. And we saw some basic graphics in the trailer, but the stuff on track, look better than this. The guy is clearly not the best driver, but he's a very good developer. That's all that counts, really. We can see the environmental detail, by the way, that Forza has. I think it's going to blur away GT7 when it comes to environmental detail. We can see some lifetime on the tyres or the fuel. Might be the fuel estimated laps. But we can see that indicators for the tyres, suspension, and the brakes. Hopefully we'll get some temperature information on that. And we've got the classic sort of Forza minimalistic style. We can see at the top, you can see the level of your car as you go. So all this car XP is adding to the leveling system. It's kind of like battling Pokemon or something. You can kind of see as you go the leveling. So you might want to do some races to get your car up a few levels, unlock some parts, and then go online. But weird show from Forza. The AI, yeah, hopefully it's better. The physics, sounds good. The gameplay looked weird. When you compare it to this trailer footage we're interspersing here, is Forza actually not going to be as good as we've been thinking before? Let me know in the comments. Congratulations, developer, for driving on stream. It's not easy. And I'll see you next time. Watch his other videos, by the way. Very nice. You'll enjoy them.